Hello, family. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. In case our sister Vivian comes here at some point, we love you all, guys. Thank you for joining. And of course, why are we here? To answer the $1 million question: Why
Why on
unpassive?
pass?
Why unpassive? Today, as you know, this is empowerment talks, and today we are about to discuss how unpassive is going to empower us to empower these young mummies called teenage mothers. Hello, sis.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us again. Yes, definitely. As you can see, empowering teenage mothers is not just about, as we said, on passive is inclusive of everyone, regardless of what your situation and circumstance is and what your age is as well. Thank you, everyone, for coming and joining us again. For those who are new, you are welcome. For those who have subscribed, thank you. For those who are yet to or considering, do
Give me water.
consider to subscribing and hit the notification bell as well. So please join in the conversation today and let's start rolling. Why
Of,
on passive? Thank you, Sister Comfort.
of course, this is more than important, guys, because anybody watching us now is either a teenage mom, an auntie, or an uncle to a teenage mom. So, guys, let's do this together. No, we can do it. And before we forget, of course, there's excitement in the air because, as we know right now, our old tracker is quite ready and you can sign up for the 14-day free trial. Guys, let's know in the comment section if you have signed up for your 14-day free trial of old tracker, what you have done so far. And me and Collins, just two of us. Actually, Collins, because I'm here to just tickle him and squeeze everything out of him, and he spits it out onto us. So Collins will be telling us every bit and pieces and everything we need to about teenage moms. We are trying because Mr. is God, God forbid, she's here back. Network, you have what we are going to look at here this morning. Just maybe afford not to. Can you speak?
Mm,
All
yes, I
right.
can.
I really do hope that that is permanent. So, guys, be ready to join me because I don't want to be here on my own. But, we're trusting God that so that we can do this together as planned. So, our moms, we know what they go through. Unfortunately, this baby palaver, it comes from the mom and the dad, but whoever suffers is always the mom because she has to pull out of school, she has to pull out from training or some other thing to stay and become a mom when she's still a baby growing. And they go through a lot. There is the struggle of going the hormones, the pregnancy hormones, and all of those to birth, to the postpartum depression, and all of those things. And they go through a lot, which we all should be looking at. Drop what you think. So, sis, I just want to stop here because I've been babbling a lot. I think I'll let you polish up everything before we start talking. Just go for it, sis.
I understand where you're coming from, and don't forget, you are even talking when you're saying yes. I agree with you. It comes from too, but don't forget back home, your comfort. You know our parents now. Some of them would have been even with that pregnancy. Some of them will beat you like this, eh?
Yes,
Some
I was going
good
to say that.
beating.
Yes.
Some will starve you. It depends on which kind of family you come from. Some will make sure you sleep outside, and then maybe parents, you see it in Nollywood movies, you see in some of our African dramas, they tell you of what happens in the society, in families, when that kind of situation occurs. There are very few families where you see where they accept that pregnancy and take care of that teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Most African families is like, what disgrace,
Mm-hmm.
what stigma, it's like, what you are it's like your life has come to an end. You are not
Yeah.
going to go to school again. And don't forget, our schools as well, the educational system does not give room for things like that. Here in the UK, you see children, secondary schoolers, they go into the GCSE or their pregnancy. You understand
Hmm.
me? They are pregnant already, but they still go and write their GCSEs. That does not occur in Africa like that. So
Yeah.
you need to look at where you are coming from and know exactly what we're talking about for you to know the kind of scenarios. We could paint all kinds of scenarios depending on which kind of family and what nation or country you come out from.
This
Because
I have a life. Yeah,
if it's
sorry.
Africa, if it's
Yes.
Africa, just know that the scenario is not going to be pleasant.
Yes,
You know.
as it stands, I am a living testimony because I've seen people being disowned because they got pregnant, because this
Yes,
family
that's
cannot
another
bear that
one.
kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
shame. Yes,
Mm.
this family cannot bear that kind of shame. They throw you out of home. As it stands, guys, I am a grandmom. My sister died and left a daughter, an only daughter she had. This child got pregnant and she got a baby at the age of 18 months, 18 years, 3 months. Right now, as it stands, my younger brother, who was living with this child on my behalf while I'm trying to take to see what we do to like to get her to myself, we are not in talking terms for about 6 months now since this child was born, because they thought that I am over pampering this girl. I need to let her pack and go over and meet this young man to take care of the baby. They got her impregnated. I did not even shout at her, I did not scold her. I said, no, what she needs now is support. Nobody's understanding. They think that I am not. I'm just stupid. Go and live back home. They call it white man's country. I'm in the
Yes,
white
they,
man's
they,
country,
yeah,
and
they said
I
you
am
become
kind of
whiter
going
than
wrong.
white now. Yeah.
Yes. So, I'm just like, I think that I understand what this young lady is going through. I've never been there, but we have seen children go through a lot, guys. So that's just for you to know that we need to take care of these people. They need us a lot. So this is just that moment. While we're talking about this, we don't come here to share what we're going through to entertain you. We just try to bring practical examples to say truly these things do happen, and they happen on a daily basis, maybe depending on what part of the world you come from. But then these people, they badly do need support. They need a lot of help. They need people to be there. They need aunties and uncles. They need daddies and moms to be there. But most of the time they say, no, you are ashamed. But then
Mm,
here comes an opportunity where we can do just more than enough. Sis.
mm. You just caught me at the right time, because as you just before you caught me, you just reminded me of Sister Shade Fakunle Cole that said that is our own passion. You understand that, and there are other people that is their passion as well. So we already have founders or people who are affiliates that are already having passion for things like that, and those are people that can resonate what is happening with those kind of people, teenagers. They can resonate with it. I also want us to look at it from the perspective of a young man. You understand me? Because this is someone that has in his life thought, oh, probably if he's one that plans by this, I would do this, I would do that, and do that. Don't forget, they go through a lot of trauma as well. You understand me? Yes, you tell them like in the country that we are living in, they have some kind of support, but don't forget back home, they don't have that kind of thing. We don't have it in Africa. If you have NGOs that are beginning to step down or come in and do things like that, they don't even have the big facility that is available here in the Western world, whether in the United Kingdom or in the US. But even in the US, there's so much they can do because there's a lot of, I would like call it, the statistics is huge and the numbers are huge that the resources that they have cannot really cover for all the things that are needed by teenage mothers or teenage fathers. I want us to also look at teenage fathers, because many a times we look at the girls go through a lot, but also the guys go through a lot too. You might not be the ones having to push out the baby and go through the pregnancy, postnatal depression, or even after depression, and even the suffering. But I've seen some of the younger ones who are guys who are the ones responsible for the pregnancy
Yeah.
actually own up. Once in a I've seen it, not once in a while, I've seen a couple own up and really stand up. You understand me?
Yeah.
To the responsibilities, but they do go through a lot of things as well, because
Uh,
then if we can link them up with an affiliate account, and then
And on this
they
note,
can
sis,
start their lives.
before you go to affiliate account, I think this is
Mm,
worth actually giving a shout out to,
mm,
because
mm.
one thing I've discovered, I'm in the UK since 2016. One thing I've discovered, there are a lot of teenage parents. But then
And
one
there's
thing I
support.
see is that the young boys, they live up to their task, they live up to their responsibility. It's
Mm-mm.
not just all about the
Not
financial
not all
support.
not all of them though. Not all
Yes,
of them.
a good,
Majority do.
a good,
Majority
no,
do.
I'm
Yeah.
not, we're comparing to where we come from. How many
Yes.
teenage boys come up to say, yes, it's my child? They
Mm,
run away, they
no,
say,
no,
no, I've
no, no,
never seen you, I
no,
don't
no,
know you,
no, no.
right? So I just really, we need to appreciate this. We cannot
Mm,
I cannot really ignore this,
mm,
As I've
mm,
seen, there's lots and lots of teenage moms and teenage parents here. But
mm,
then the
mm,
boys do at least something. It's not
mm,
all about money, just the fact that he is there for this girl all the
mm,
time.
mm.
They do all of those things together. They carry the baby, they move. Because when you watch it, when you see them on the street, you
You
just know
will
that
know. You know.
these are children, bringing forth children. I just love
Mm,
it. I just see them and
mm,
say, oh my God, I think I love them.
mm,
They're still
mm,
childish. They need you, and then the baby needs them and stuff like that.
mm.
So this part of it, kudos to every young man who stands up to their. It starts as a
Yes.
mistake, but that baby is a bundle of joy. Children are never a mistake. They were destined to come to the world just like that. And we
Mm,
love what I tell them. Even my own daughter back home,
mm,
what we tell them is like, listen, I love you. I love you, my baby. I love you. I love you and your baby. I am your mother, and she is my grandbaby. So that
mm,
is what is happening. So this love goes from here to every teenage parent, teenage couple, and stuff. So if we made it teenage girl, teenage moms, let's make it teenage parents, because some teenage boys really do stand up to the task. It might not be all of them, but the few who do it, we need to acknowledge them. So apart from that, what happens to them is what is the most concern here. Most of these children, especially the girls, let's go back to the teenage moms, they fall into depression, the postpartum depression, even
mm,
as the child is growing, they cries, all of those night cries and stuff like that. It's just like, God, I didn't know it was like this. So they fall into depression. Some may resort to drugging, some may resort to even harming themselves and stuff
mm,
like that. And even back home, it's worse because that fear that I can't
mm,
afford to lose my family. Sometimes I don't know how they keep the pregnancy. They hide
mm,
it until, to some extent, they deliver the baby, wrap it up, abandon it on the street or anywhere, and go away. So
mm,
most orphanages back home, they host
mm.
babies that they just pick up from the bin,
From the
from
streets.
the
Yes.
rubbish and from the street and stuff like
Mm,
that.
mm,
Sometimes they come and put it near the convent or behind an
mm,
old woman's house or
mm,
somewhere. That's
mm.
what they go through. Sis, I give it to you.
Mm. I'm glad you mentioned that, and I've noticed that it's not just African countries. Like I told you, there is a charity that I support also in South Korea. They call them Baby Box, and
Oh.
Baby Box, and it's the same situation that sometimes when you think, oh, we're Africans, we have a lot of this
Mhm.
happening, and then you think, oh my goodness, it's happening here too, and what they've done is like, like when you have a letterbox, they had a huge letterbox, but it's more like the size of a box. So if as a teenager, some of them have that baby, puts that baby in that box, and then go and drop it off in that box. So they open the box, put the box through, and leave the baby there. And it's a pastor, and it's a church that is responsible for this, and that's the charity arm of the church in South Korea there, and they call it baby drop, a Kokoli baby
Oh
drop off
my God,
box. So and
oh dear,
and it
I feel,
started from mistakes of them picking up babies in boxes, you
yeah,
understand me, from
mhm,
all over the place, under the bridge, even
yeah,
places where they have never imagined, where where there's damp, and that kind of thing, and you're wondering, how can a baby be crying from under a bridge, that kind of thing. That was where it started from. So they now decided, okay, you know what? Instead of anonymously just come and drop that baby in that box, they made the post box as big as the size of a big box that can contain a baby. So if you've had that child and you don't want to get rid of that child, or some of them actually kill the child.
yeah, yeah. I
But
was
if you
going to
don't
come
want
to
to
that.
kill that child, then you
Mhm.
put that child in that box, and all you need to do is put the lid, lift up the lid, push the box in there. Nobody knows who you are. There's no camera there to check who you are that is dropping the baby in the baby drop box. Nobody will say anything. Just make sure you bring the baby there, and then they have support from not just so from charities around outside of South Korea as well, that support them here and there, just to make sure that
Mhm.
life goes on. Some of the children also
Sis,
get
can I comment?
adopted
Can I
as
comment
well.
on this because I'm
Mm,
really touched. I'm sorry that
mm.
I'm really interrupting because
No, 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 no,
I've
it's
never
good to
known this.
interrupt. Mm,
Yeah, I've never known this, but it's so it's touching my heart in that. Guys, sorry, we are all moms and aunties and uncles and grandmoms. It's allowed sometimes to be emotional over stuff like this. Because one of the things, if you want to look for one of the greatest reasons for abortions, especially back home again, this would be one of them. Oh my God,
yes,
I can't afford to be
for
thrown
to be
out of
thrown out of,
family.
yes.
It's better
Mm,
I lose the baby. And in the course of wanting to lose the baby, you can lose even your own life or
life, yeah.
the abort babies or the all of those
Mm,
things. But
mm,
then we are not saying that we are encouraging our children to go and get premature pregnancies and stuff like that. But it
mm,
happens before you know it. No matter how much you work hard,
mm,
before you know it, it's here. So what do?
mm,
We
mm,
want to accept the babies. But if some homes are so rigid to change that they cannot be so adamant that they can't look left and right, if
mm,
you are evil because you brought a baby, you can't be seen in this family. We embrace the babies instead of
mm,
killing them because those
mm,
children they were destined to come to this world just through that channel. Why kill them when somebody can take care of them? So I think that's a brilliant idea. Not that we're encouraging teenage
yeah. Mm,
pregnancy. We pray
yeah.
for our girls, we talk to our girls, we talk to with all of those, but sometimes it does happen, sis. So let's see, let's gradually move to solution if you think so that is right. So please.
Yeah, that solution is right. I love the fact that you said that. And we've mentioned about people that have the compassionate heart to go into things like that. But also we can adopt, like you said, we've been talking about adopting a family. You can adopt a teenage family as well, or teenage parent, or a teenage mother. If the man is there or the young man is there, you can adopt them and support them in that way, whether with your first and foremost advice. It goes a long way, and explain to them that things might be like this. Also encourage them, because in the course of unpassive coming, they'll be able to go back to school, because some of them drop out of school and then they think that that's the end of their life forever. Till that child is like 15 or 16, there is nothing going to be happening. No, they can study online as well, be able to improve their own education, their own educational standard as well, improve their prospects of getting, a better job, or better opportunities of getting interviewed, for starters, if the jobs are there. But even if there isn't, then they have a business that they can run. You understand, that kind of thing, such that they'll be able to actually take care of that child that they both brought into this world, because it's important. Is a responsibility on your part when you bring a child into this world, to make sure that that child is well catered for, by everything that
Right.
they need. Yeah, I
Exactly.
will stop there.
Yeah, our sister Kido is giving us a great contribution here from South
Mm,
Africa. She says in June 23, statistics show that 90K school teenage pregnant, they had 90K teenage pregnancies, I think this year, June 22, June 2023.
okay,
And so
wow.
what is happening? They are all granted support through therapy and special classes arranged for them. Thanks be to
Mm,
God. Sees the
mm,
good news we are here and we'll
mm,
watch this go on and on and on and on. We need
yes.
our girls. We need those babies because they're already here. Because
Mm,
when we say we want to ignore it or you just want to sweep it under the carpet if you think that this should not be discussed because they will still
mm.
get pregnant. It's
It
not
needs
here.
to be discussed, but
Yes.
it doesn't start from here, actually, because
Yes.
you need to backtrack a bit to sex
Mhm.
education, because many a times
Exactly.
in the African society, in the African families, they don't like to talk about sex education. They think it's
Yep.
a taboo you don't talk about. But let me tell you, we are in the modern age. Even without being modern age, if you don't teach your child or
Mm.
talk to your child about sex education, the school will do it their own way. Someone else outside of the school will do it their own way. But you need to
Mhm.
teach your girls and boys what they need to do. I'm not saying yes. Many a times, like I have one of my friends said, you tell them, oh, abstinence is the best. Said, but just in case if you decide you are not abstaining, just make sure you use a condom, please, because you don't want to
I
get
know.
another person's daughter pregnant, and then you come and start saying dantata story here.
See,
No cock and bull
I'm
story,
laughing. Listen,
you know.
I'm that parent, especially when a lot is happening in the world now, which we all
Yes,
know. I
yes.
tell my
Let's
children,
let's be
my
realistic about it and
yes,
practical about
my
it.
two older one, they are 14 and 12. The third one just turned 9. We watch paternity court.
Yes.
Paternity court
I
is
thought
this
so.
lady in,
Yes,
in,
I
in, in
know.
the
In
US.
US,
Many
yes.
teenage pregnancies come. I look at my boys in their eyes and say, if you don't want a baby, don't go for one. Because you get the girl pregnant now at 14, you will marry her and bring her home and you become a husband. Say, what? I say, yes. Don't go for it. Even though, I'm sorry, it may be too harsh, but I feel for that woman. That girl is somebody's daughter and it's a woman like
Yes,
myself. I
yes,
wouldn't
yeah,
want
you
to find
can't treat
myself
her
there. Yes.
exactly.
I
You know,
would go
because
over
you
and
hear
see
some of
mom.
the boys say,
Yes.
"Oh, it's a one night stand. I can't marry her."
No,
If you knew it
and
was a one night
those
stand,
are
what were
big
you doing
words
with
to
her?
use.
If you can't marry her, what were you doing with her? Where were you
Yes.
doing it with
So,
between her legs? You know?
guys, we're sorry if this is taking a different direction. That is how
Yeah.
it looks like. We do this, I'm saying, because they are not doing it though. To be honest, they are not
No,
yet
no.
doing it.
Yeah,
But then it's not like they don't do because their age mates they are doing it and they're getting there, right? So be
yeah,
careful because when you get it done, I
mm,
will still love and accept you. I'll go to this girl's mom and say, let's discuss this. We are
okay.
keeping the baby and keeping the boy and the girl. Everything has
Mm,
to be taken care of. So you become a
yes.
husband overnight. If you don't want it, wait for the right time because the right time is always the best time.
Mm, mm,
However, more education, guys, say it
mm.
a better way and a softer way. If I'm being too hard, I can be a very
No,
hard word
no,
to bear.
no. I'm like that. My children know me. Even some of my children's friends, when they say, "Oh, auntie, you just nail it," I said, "No," because let me tell you something. The educational system right now in the United Kingdom is pouring out rubbish sometimes in that area to our children, and then we that are parents sit down and say we are it's a taboo. We can't talk about it. How can I be talking to my son or daughter
Don't talk
about
it.
sex? I'm
No,
telling you, if you don't, the school will teach them. Now
somebody
they are
else will do.
sometimes
Mhm.
somebody else will do, even if the school doesn't, because right now, as of 9 years old, they're having proper, vividly illustrated sexual act. What do you call it? And they're telling them it's okay to do that. Just use condom, but they forget to tell them that condom is not safe either. The condom can burst. The condom can decide to do whatever it likes to do. If that child is bent to come to this world,
Mhm.
use 10 condoms. All the 10 condoms will crack open. They
That's
don't
true.
tell them that, do they? And they
Yes.
don't tell them that it's 99.9,
All right,
you know?
sis, you know what? Let's empower these girls and leave here because this can
Yes.
take you tomorrow. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. But then I think I think Bavin is redirecting us here because we are taking it a bit
Out
So
of context.
she says we have to deal with this head on
A
when
done.
apples start rolling in. We
Mm,
are humans, and of course, life happens. So let's do this together. See, that is
mm.
just the way to go. We are
Yes.
talking about this. We are bringing this here because we come with a solution. Listen,
Mm,
this man called Mr. Ash Mufare, he's got this ecosystem in which is hanging solution for everybody. There's room for everybody, including these young mummies,
mm,
and the young daddies in case some of them find themselves in that situation. And what
mm,
can we do from here? There's a lot to do, like Vivini is saying. We can start by go to communities, especially back home. We go to
mm,
communities everywhere, though
mm,
everywhere we need this.
mm,
we
mm. We
create
need
we
it
create we
everywhere.
create yes, we create empowerment centers just for them,
Mm,
people of that age and that community who come
mm,
together and say, oh, I thought I was the only one. And then
mm.
while they will tell them that you are still worth £1 million of gold, you are
Mm,
still as beautiful and precious as you were before you became a mom. And you have
mm.
been, you tell them what they need to know, build their
Yes.
self-esteem,
Self-esteem.
bring them back to life, give them dignity again, and say, you go from here. That is
Mm.
when,
And
yeah,
even
I'll
provide a
let you.
place for some of them, especially those that are being chucked out of their families, because it is reality, practical reality, where some of them are chucked out of the family house, overnight and left or disowned, that kind of thing. So they can come to that kind of place and have a roof over their head, have someone tutelage them on how to take care of themselves, take care of that child, and then build up,
Mhm.
like they said, give them therapy because they need their self-esteem would have worn out probably by then. They need to build that
Sure.
up over the number of time. Some of them have hand skills, but when they are left in that kind of situation and they don't have any, support, financially, spiritually, physically, then it becomes, it's like they see no hope. But when they come to that kind of place and we support them in that way, not only will you have all those arms of,
Mm-hmm.
covered, where you have someone that can come and, tutelage them physically on how to take care of themselves, take care of their child, to also they have a roof over their head, because it takes a lot of pressure of them as well. Then you have someone that is a therapist come to talk to them, and then they can talk to the therapist. It builds up their self-esteem. They begin to have a glimpse of hope that things can be better for their lives. And apart from that, look at academy, look our oyster that is full of pearls.
I
Can you
know.
imagine that kind of mom or dad? Because some of the boys also drop out of the school to take on responsibility. They can pick up on, whatever it is they want to study on academy, and you can
Mm-hmm.
imagine the story of success is non-stop, as
Yep.
things go
Yep.
by, if they are
You
the ones that choose to do that kind of thing. But if they're ones that are very good with their hands, they can have support to go and learn something, that kind of thing
mhm.
is paid for. They go and learn it, and then they can use that to support themselves and their family or their little baby as well.
Exactly. Exactly. See, so there's Ma Ijoma in the house. I had a long talk with her yesterday. It was so fun talking to her for the first time, but we had a lot of laughter and stuff. So, what we are doing here, we are just introducing these topics because time is coming when we'll delve into it. We map out stuff together and go and put on our walking shoes and walk down the deeps and go up the heights to
And
find these
our
children
genes,
and go all
yes.
over the place. So we
Mm,
what we want when we talk like this, people who are already planning something or they have started something are the best we can ever find now. Because when you will know that a sister is already planning on this or they have already started it, we just build on that. We don't go and start something new when somebody is already doing it. So I
mm.
know that
With
through Ma
support.
Ijoma, I'll bring her
Mm,
daughter here because she told me
mm,
about her yesterday. One of
mm.
her accounts is dedicated to teenage moms. Listen, this is more than
Okay.
sweet. She needs to
Sweet.
come here,
That's
tell
good.
us what she is doing, and that's how
And
we
then we
cue
can
in.
support,
Yes,
yeah, and we can
yeah,
support.
we
And
don't
then
want to go and
when it
start something
when
new when she's
exactly,
already
when the
here with a
apples drop,
blueprint.
we carry our t-shirt, our boots, and trainers,
Woo!
and t-shirt and
And jeans
trousers,
and
and
go.
go there physically,
Yes, we're biting the apple fruits and rolling the other apples, to
you
go
know
get stuff done. So it's apple, apple, apple all over the place, and we get people smiling. It's just
mm,
a fun thing. So, beautiful teenagers, you are precious, you are wonderful, you are brave because you could have gone and attempted to, commit murder by killing this baby. And most of
mm.
the times it doesn't go well because you want to claim a life that is living in you and you end up claiming two yours and
Two,
theirs. No, no,
yes.
no. Don't dare. Do not dare because mommies and daddies and uncles are here for you all the time. The ecosystem is there. The most thing we need now or from the beginning is not money. It's not that we just need that moral and mental support, that
Yeah, support,
psychological
yeah.
support.
And they
When
need a
we
lot
people
of
of
love
that,
as well. They
yes,
need a
yes,
lot of love, because sometimes, I'm telling you, Sister Comfort, before you go for the, sorry for interrupting you, but
go, sis, go for it.
I've seen that sometimes, the way, let's call it a spade. The way sometimes we Africans love is so funny. You understand me? Such that sometimes the children are even thinking, Does she do, are they my parents? They adopt me, that kind of
Yes,
thing.
some
They're
parents
beginning to
can be
think,
difficult. Yeah.
that kind of, so they
Mm.
need a lot of love and caring as well, because sometimes it's that lack of that, or the non when a child is not feeling that or knowing that they're loved, sometimes it pushes them into that kind of thing as
Anyway,
well.
yes,
that
that's
that's
very
why
true.
you see someone, guys, oh, I love you, small thing, and then it's like, oh, okay, he loves me.
So I find they'll say I finally found
I
love,
find out
and
love,
then it's not
in the
love. It's
arms
just
of some
baby.
lost, basically,
Yes, and then it's so sweet when you listen like to paternity code. Say, well,
Mm,
just once. Yeah, it takes just once. It doesn't have it doesn't.
yeah.
Yeah, it takes just once, and baby is here.
Yeah,
So
I've had an adult tell me that, I didn't know a woman could get pregnant just once. I say, I beg your pardon, where have you been?
all right, stop this, sis. Let's not spoil this discussion. We need to take it going, guys. So, teenage moms, what we want first: mental health intact, Mentally, you are sane enough. We know that you're sane enough. Physically, you are fit and looking beautiful again. You still need to put on all the makeup and all of those and put the girls, all the
Yeah,
pinky stuff and the
make your,
sweetie stuff,
yeah,
depending
present
what
yourself
sex
nice.
the child is. They
Mm-hmm.
are yours. That's your sweetness. That's your thing. We give you a life. And of course, the ecosystem is here. It just takes an affiliate position for this smart young girl, and she goes from there. It just takes, because these days Ash has made it so easy, so easy. Because in the days before on passive, we would try to do GoFundMe and do other stuff and beg here, beg there, but it just takes that account. If I don't want to give, or I'm tired of giving, I'll just come here and say, sisters, who wants to sponsor an affiliate position? Many will come calling,
I-
say, yes,
if
I
Thank
am
you.
here.
Even if
This
one
is how
doesn't,
easy it is.
if you want to chip in, I chip in. Sister Vavin chips in.
Well,
We do the one
thank you.
affiliate account and give it
I
to the
just like
family.
this.
The teenage
Exactly.
parents. Just
Yeah.
like that. So you don't have to do it all by yourself. That is why we are 1 million. And don't forget, we are double now. So probably by
Oh
the
yeah,
time we
yeah, yeah.
eventually, we
Many
might be
more people
triple
with
up.
good hearts they're
So
joining.
we, four of us can put the money together and say, okay, this is an affiliate account. Take, for example, we're talking about Refugee Day yesterday. That teenage parent, you say, oh, there's a teenage
Oh,
parent. You bring them forward and say, oh, Sister Fumi, Sister Vavin, Sister Ijoma, there's a teenage parent, or Sister Ijoma's daughter brings one and say, there's a teenage parent. This is what is happening. Okay. You
yes.
have this, you have this. We bring all our money together. We put it. One affiliate account is sorted. We give it to them, and then
Yes,
they
see,
teach them how to run
before I
it.
forget,
Mm,
I should have said this at the very beginning so that people watching would be there to say
mm,
thank you. I will
mm,
not call names because I did not
mm.
ask their permission whether I should announce this, so I will not go
No,
ahead to
don't.
say the name. A
Mm,
sister supported us yesterday with £100, £50 for Ukraine and £50 for Southern Cameroons, and it's already gone to the various places, and it was really much appreciated. And then another sister promised that they can support me in dollars. So it would be going to the guy who was supporting here on the chat yesterday, who is a refugee.
Arnold. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
not
No,
Arnold.
no.
The one,
Okay.
the one who was
Oh,
commenting from
the one from Ogoja.
refugee.
Ogoja. Yeah.
Genau, yes, that one
Genau. Yeah.
too. So
Mm,
that one too. Somebody said they will support us in dollars, and that is
mm.
going to the person in Nigeria. He is a refugee,
Nigeria.
and he is
Yeah.
empowering fellow
I got
refugees. So the
you.
one for
That's
me
good.
and Arnold is already gone.
Gone.
So we
Mm,
really say thank you, but I want to say the name because I did not ask their permission. I would have loved to say that, but then not now. Next time, if there's need, I'll definitely be happy to do that. So
mm,
there's something that Loveline is telling us. See now, I am working in a school, and in this school, they start teaching them about sex and sexual organs in class 5. I was surprised. I can't share. I cannot go to start sharing stuff because you don't know why I started homeschooling. So so we are here, we're up to the task. Let's go to work, ladies. We know what we're worth, and we know what happens when we put our little heads together. By the time we stand like this, then we're done, and whatever we tie in there, it stands and it holds like palm, so we are capable. We are up to the task. All the daddies and the mommies and uncles in the house, be ready to join us, because we will not open empowerment centers for teenage moms. We will just maybe get a youth empowerment center. We are not
mm.
encouraging teenage parenthood, but it happens like this before you know. But then we want to be there for them. We have all the time and everything it needs to be there for them. Please, let's start
Uh,
wrapping up.
yeah, someone mentioned that we should support teenage boys too. And that is why we
That's
said,
what I'm
oh,
saying.
at the beginning, that we should have made it teenage parenthood.
But,
That's
but,
what
but,
Sister Comfort.
I
And
think
we
we work
also
so hard to.
mentioned we are not just saying teenage mothers. That's why at the beginning, Sister Comfort mentioned that, oh, Sister Fumi, we should have made this thing teenage parenthood. So we are not just covering teenage mothers, we are also looking at supporting teenage young men that have been papas, or
Yes.
young fathers, that
Young
kind
baby
of thing.
daddy.
Not baby daddy, teenage fathers as well. So we are not just talking
Yes.
about just the girls, we are talking about both of them together, and we are
Yes.
stressing the fact that those of them that have actually come up and taken responsibility for the fact that they are responsible for that baby, they are responsible
Yes,
for the pregnancy, they need to be tutelage as well, they need to be supported as well, they need to be supported in
of
all the
course, they need
facets that
support.
all the ladies or the young girl will be supported as well. So we are not leaving them out. What we're saying is that, look, instead of having a teenage center, a mother center, we have a youth center, that's such that the parents, teenage parents, can come as well. If both of them have been disowned or thrown out of their family homes, they can come there and have a roof over their head. They can have support spiritually, mentally, financially, psychologically, and also mentally as well.
Yeah, sure. This can be, it can be a whole massive movement, because it
Yes,
includes just way too much. It needs everybody from all walks of life,
of
you know.
life.
So
Yes,
you
yes.
are included, I am included. But then I'm sure this person who is saying we should include teenage moms came a bit late, because
Mm,
we, like you said, we apologized, and I talked about the boys. I said we sit here and watch paternity court just
mm.
to see how much stress they go through. And I
They
tell
go
them,
through
hello,
stress too. The
if you don't
boys
want
go
a
through
baby, don't
stress.
go for one, because it
Mm,
happens really quick. Before you know it, it's already here. Don't
mm.
go for it. But then if it's already there, we love you, we love this baby, we love both of you. Here we are. That's just it. Let's work together. Let's do this, because I know we can do it. So, Machuma, we will still talk and discuss. Your daughter has to come here and talk. Anybody who is already doing something for teenagers, with teenagers, or you already have a blueprint in your hands and you just want to
Like
start
Sister
going.
Shadi, isn't it?
Yes, of course, Sister Shade will definitely come. When she comes,
Mm.
she'll talk and then cry a bit and then talk more. Right. So, so
Mm.
she's a bit more passionate than both of us put together.
Yeah.
But she,
No, because I
hallelujah.
understand everybody's
Yes,
passionate about something different, especially sometimes if they
yeah,
witness it or be a victim as well
yes.
themselves.
Sharing
Because
personal experience.
yes,
So I know what that
experience.
means.
So
Yes. All right, sisters. We are sorry for if we took it too far. It's because it's a passionate thing. We're talking about our children, right? So you can go crazy if you don't control yourself. Forgive
mm,
us if we went really too far with this. It was just meant to, the key, the bottom line here is that these children don't need to be suffering. They deserve all the respect, they deserve all the support. This is the one they need support more than ever
more
before.
than ever. Yeah.
Yes, and we have all it takes to be there for them. That is just it. And before we really go, we are not here to take over the parenthood. You are still the mom and dad of this child. They remain yours. We are not adopting the child. We are not taking them off you. You will raise the child. Will teach you how to raise it, and they will call you mom and dad because that's who you are. Let all of you grow up together. We are capable of doing that, sis. Let's just wrap up and leave here.
Yes, I think we'll leave it there. You've said and covered for everything else that I would have said. But just let everyone know that we can all do this together. If you know of any, I would like call it teenage parents that are near you, especially back home or in your country, that you know that they are struggling and they are really struggling badly, let's come together. You don't have to put all the money down. We can all come together and give them an affiliate account, three, four, five of us, whichever one, and give it to them, but also be able to, join hands in partnership when apples fall real good with those who are on the ground in countries who are already doing this work. And it's, don't tell me, let me tell you something. It's not like Sister Comfort said, it's a work that involves everybody from all spheres of life: pastors, psychologists, nurses, doctors. It includes everybody. Even if you are just a midwife or whatever, or staff nurse, it includes everybody, including myself and my sister. Your experience of raising your own children is enough for you to be able to share, to have an impact into that teenage parent's life as well. And sometimes just take the child of them and allowing them to just be themselves, because that's another thing, for them to just have a teen, because they're
Yep.
still
Well,
teenagers.
well,
They're
no,
still
they're
teenagers.
children. They're still
they, they,
children.
they
Yeah.
don't have time, no clubbing, no nothing, no party, no doing anything anymore. But if you take that child for a week or so and allow them to just relax and just chill, that would be nice for their mental health as
Mm.
well. So I think I will leave it there. It's something we all need to bring our hands together and really work with and partner with those who are so passionate, deeply passionate about it, who are doing the work or who have the templates, like Sister Comfort said. Just be
Mm-hmm.
ready, just so that when we call on you and we say, Sister Vavin, let's go to Cameroon, or Sister Vavin, let's go to Ghana, Sister Ijoma, we are already in Cameroon. We are landing, at the airport in a couple of days. We are there to do some, charity work. We are there with you, supporting whatever you are doing, and making sure that we all do this work together and make a better place and raise children and teenage parents that are far better. And then they are in a better place to raise their child, healthier in Jesus' name. Amen, I would say.
For those, yes, amen to that. For those who believe in Jesus, I do, she does, but we're not here to preach, but then we believe in that. Yes. Thank you, sisters. Thank you, family. Like we started on earlier, we just say the joy is on and on and on. And why we are on fire is because we are sure we are capable, because the OES is red hot. As it stands, if you did not know, I'm sure everybody should know by now. Actually, tell us in the chat, have you tried your 14-day? Have you done your 14-day
I've done
trial?
I've done mine, but
Of,
I've not done anything yet. But
all right,
I'm waiting for when we finish that. I'm going to go and start
perfect.
fiddling with it.
Meanwhile, Collins is on fire. Come in the evening and get to know every bit of thing you
You,
want to know
you don't
about
you don't
just
want to
old
miss that
tracker.
one because while we are here, he's busy,
Somebody
fiddling
needs to
with
be there
it.
to pour water, because when he Colin starts speaking and then he turns to the Bible, you want to hold him back. He will go and go and go. That is the passion. That is the sweetness about ONPASSIVE. You cannot afford not to be there tonight, guys. Come and get every bit and pieces of anything you need to know about Old Tracker, Collins Manor, Old Tech Pro, 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time today. Thank you, guys. See you soon.
Thank
Much,
you.
much love
Much love.
and
Thank
hugs
you,
from
guys.
us from the studio to you out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes. Bye, guys.